Welcome to Sports Today. I generally don't do a show at this point in time, but the kind of messages on social media, personal WhatsApp messages, number of calls that I've got about possible updates. That's why I decided just to come and give you from whatever I know. I mean, and again, don't hold me to it because it's a very evolving scenario. It is a very evolving scenario. Things can change any minute. And, it is an evolving scenario. It is. So, what do I know? Number one, and I will take questions. Whatever you want to ask, please ask. Let me go to the comment section. Oh man, there is uh, a lot of questions already. Our public, what's going on? IPL shifted to Mumbai, speculation. RCB PBK has happened, speculation. Every double header from May 11th, waiting for your news. Boriada, there is talk of one player being positive in a franchise, but it's not out yet. Anything on that? Boria, someone PIL, Boria, Supreme Court PIL ho gayi. IPL likely to start from May 7, May 8 in Mumbai. Okay, plenty of questions. Let me give you the updates first. Number one, Chennai Super Kings now has gone into hard quarantine. Delhi also is in isolation. So I'm putting that on record. Chennai Super Kings, from what I know, not what I know, I've actually corroborated it. Let me tell you, I've spoken to Kashi Vishwanath on this, and Chennai Super Kings is in hard quarantine. So if they are in hard quarantine, and that's 6 days, 6 days of hard quarantine, which has started yesterday, so it will continue till Saturday, end of Saturday, early Sunday, from 6 days. So and they are getting tested every day. So if they are getting tested every day, the hard quarantine is your best way out. Is your best way out to try and eliminate any possible case, because you have put players into hard quarantine. No one steps out. No one ventures anywhere. No intermingling allowed. No one goes into anybody's room. The food is being served outside the room. You just take it. The test is happening in a very sort of sophisticated and followed protocol manner. So the biobubble manager, there are four biobubble integrity managers. So the biobubble manager is accompanying the testing person on the door knock. The testing person is wearing a PPE kit, taking the sample out. So it's basically a minute procedure. So within a minute, the sample is being taken out, and the biobubble manager is actually monitoring the whole process. So that is how the samples are being done, and it's daily testing. So the Chennai Super Kings also will be daily tested now. All the tests were done yesterday, RT-PCR, except Bala and the bus helper. Everybody else has returned negative. And I say that Kashi Vishwanath confirms to me that every other test except Bala and the helper has turned negative. So God willing, that remains the case. Wish Bala and the helper a speedy recovery. But if that is the case, it will now be a daily process. They have gone into hard quarantine, and by the end of it, Chennai Super Kings should also be in the clear. Now, this is the only way forward. Trust me, this is the only way forward to eliminate fear, to eliminate any kind of apprehension, and scientific protocol being followed. Kolkata Knight Riders, same drill. They have gone into hard quarantine. And by the way, all the tests for the Kolkata Knight Riders have also come negative. I'm putting that on record. I've spoken to Venki Mysore. I'll get him on the show today. I will get Venki on the show. I've requested him for a time. He's supposed to come back to me. He's confirmed the interview. He's supposed to come back to me with details of the timing. I will get Venki Mysore, but the confirmation that I get from Venki Mysore is all the tests except Varun Chakravarti and Sandeep Boria. Every other test has also come negative for the Kolkata Knight Riders. If that trend continues, they have already gone into hard quarantine. Today is day 3 almost, day 2.5. They should be on the clear on the 6th, and even on the 6th of evening should be able to practice. Maybe on the 7th, if there is a game, if the game is rescheduled to the 7th, they should be able to play. That is the proper scientific protocol that is being followed by Chennai Super Kings and Kolkata Knight Riders. Kolkata started a couple of days early. Chennai from yesterday. Teams are in hard quarantine. Delhi is also isolating because they had played Kolkata. The players are isolating as far as the Delhi team is concerned. Nothing untoward as of now. Nothing untoward as of now from what I've heard from the Delhi camp. Fingers crossed, nothing should or will happen. Expectedly, we would hope and pray that nothing happens. But Delhi is isolating. Delhi is absolutely isolating. Uh, Now coming to this whole question about the shift to Mumbai. there is a proposal on the table. By the way, let me put that on record. The proposal was being debated yesterday also. I was confirmed, I got confirmation of it yesterday around 3 o'clock in the afternoon, is what I was told, that yes, this is being seriously deliberated upon. But there are certain practical possibilities. There are a lot of my journalist colleagues who have actually said on the 7th or the 8th, the IPL moves to Mumbai, matches will happen, etc. You know what? There are practical issues. If you want to move to Mumbai, and I understand the logic of moving to Mumbai, because Mumbai will be one city where there are multiple venues. DY Patil can be used. Kolkata Knight Riders practiced at the DY Patil ahead of the tournament. There is a Bribon Stadium, CCI. There is also a Wankhede. And I know for a fact that BCCI has already reached out, and I'm putting it on record. BCCI has already reached out to hotels in Mumbai. But, and this is a big but, people who are saying, and a lot of my colleagues have also asked me, 7th or the 8th, the IPL moves to Mumbai. How will the hotel staff quarantine? If you have to move a bubble, players who will be served or anybody who will be served, the whole IPL bandwagon, when they move to a particular hotel, Hotel X, hotel staff has to quarantine for 7 days in advance before they are able to serve people in the bubble or come in contact with people in the bubble. They have to go into isolation and quarantine for 7 days. If they don't, then how is that, that bubble the sanctity of that bubble? So if you have to move it from the 7th, I don't see that happening, because on the 7th you do not have the 7-day window for the hotel staff, or even the 6-day window according to the protocol. The 6-day window of hard quarantine, you do not have the 6-day window of hard quarantine at this point in time for the hotel staff to be able to go into quarantine, come and be part of the IPL bubble. So yes, the Mumbai move is being deliberated on, definitely being deliberated on, but there are certain practical difficulties as of now. Think about it. If you have to move it to Mumbai, which you can, and there is a logic to it, but you have to go in a manner that you announce it today, you book your hotels, you put the staff in hard quarantine, so that all these staff, whoever is part of that hotel bubble, the hospitality chain, they are in hard quarantine and tested every day before the IPL bandwagon, including the teams, players, everyone moves into Mumbai. You've got to do that. So to say that today is the 4th, to say that the IPL will move to Mumbai and players will start playing on the 7th, it is impractical that way. Because think about it, if you do it, you are actually not letting the hotel staff quarantine for a period of 6 days before they come in proximity with the players in any shape or form. Okay, so I'm putting all the news out. By the way, I'm taking no moral position. Please, I am just saying what is scientific. I am saying what I've gathered from the various people I've spoken to, whether it is CEOs of particular franchises, players who are close friends of mine in the various teams, BCCI officials. Having figured out, I am putting out facts before you, facts, and I'm also putting out what, according to me, having read everything and spoken to multiple doctors and scientists, what is the scientific protocol. And I'm telling you this. Chennai Super Kings is following scientific protocol. Kolkata Knight Riders is following scientific protocol and following scientific protocol to the T. Hard quarantine, isolation, regular testing, or everyday testing is your way forward to eliminate any kind of apprehension in the minds of anybody in that particular bubble. Whether it's Kolkata, so Pat Cummins is feeling apprehensive, he's in 6-day quarantine. He knows that whoever is in that bubble is clean at the end of day 6. That's your only way to alleviate fear and allay any kind of apprehension, so that you can go ahead with the tournament. The tournament, according to me, has a huge economic value, has serves hundreds and hundreds of thousands of people in terms of livelihood. But you have to follow scientific protocol to be able to go ahead with the tournament. If you cut corners, there is a risk, there is a serious risk. The virus at this point in time is rampant, and we don't know. There are still, after so many months, we do not know a few things about the virus. That is why you have to follow what is proper scientific protocol. By the way, let me also say this. I've had a chat with Rohan Jaitley, including 10 minutes before this live, the president of the DDC, and Rohan confirms to me that every groundsman was tested and all their reports have returned negative. So the report about 5 groundsmen at the Kotla, 7 groundsmen at the Arun Jaitley Stadium, returning positive tests is not correct. He says it on record, and I'm quoting Rohan Jetli, that anybody who was part of the bubble, and I insist, anyone who was part of the bubble has not tested positive. Outside the bubble is a different story. Of course, our country at this point in time, anyone and everyone is susceptible. But outside of the Delhi Cricket Association bubble, people can have gotten tested positive. But within the bubble, Rohan Jetli confirms that every groundsman and every person who was tested has returned negative tests. Uh, that's what I think. Okay, there are some hundreds of questions. Let me try and take some at least. How did they contract the virus? Balaji, good question. There was no breach of bubble. There was no breach of bubble, and that sort of, uh, actually makes me a little apprehensive. You know what? I don't know certain things. I don't know. Say, for example, during match situations, we do know that when the ball goes to the gallery and it's sent back, the umpire sanitize the ball, Saurav Yadav. We do know that, right? But when practice is it done? I don't know it. I mean, when the players are practicing, are the balls sanitized? The people who are throwing it back, I'm sure they are in bubbles, or I hope they are in bubbles, but we don't know certain things. So we don't know. As far as Varun is concerned, the initial response was Varun contracted the virus from the lab where he went for a test. Now, the people in the lab who did the test on Varun, none of them have shown any symptoms so far. And I've got corroboration from KKR. None of them have shown any symptoms so far. And they are both the two people Varun came in contact with, along with Dr. Shrikant, who was accompanying Varun to the lab. The two people who Varun came in contact with were both vaccinated and 2 doses vaccinated. So the chance, if they are not showing symptoms, from Varun to pick it up from the lab is pretty marginal. And also, Varun was apparently there for no more than 5 minutes. Now, okay, so Venki Mysore has just given me a time. In fact, it was his message. That's why I held back. He says, "Can we do it at 12:30?" So if I record with him at 12:30, I will put that interview out. Trisha, if you are hearing me, can you put that interview out at 2 p.m. if I record with Venki Mysore at 12:30? Please confirm, so that I confirm to my viewers. And I'll ask Venki Mysore every protocol question, what's being followed by KKR and what the discussion is at IPL level as well. He's just messaged me saying 12. No. So give me a time, Trisha. Give me a time. If I record at 12:30, what time can you put it out? Not before. Try and put it out at 3 o'clock, Trisha. Just turn it around somehow, because it's an important interview. I want our viewers to listen to it. Turn it around. I will finish it by 1 o'clock. You turn it around in 2 hours. It's my request. Put it out at 3 p.m., Trisha. 3 p.m. Venki Mysore on Sports Today. I will record with him at 12:30. We'll put it out at 3 p.m. You do it for me, Trisha. Thank you. Uh, Vivek, why is Mumbai? Big call, big call, big call. Uh, if you read my Twitter thread, I've said this, Vivek Randeep, I've said this. I think, this is my personal opinion, they should have paused, put people in quarantine. They should have done what KKR and CSK doing, and then rebooted on Saturday. That's my personal opinion. And that's my personal opinion. If you read my Twitter thread, I've answered that question on my Twitter thread. Please go check my Twitter thread. Mankirat Singh SRH match for some days. You know, as of now, and I'm putting out facts, Rohan Jetli says there is no instruction yet from the BCCI. So if there is no instruction yet, obviously there is no cancellation announcement yet. But if there is, we will come and announce it on Sports Today. I have put out a Twitter thread yesterday based on what I feel. Ashan Laskar, Boryada, what about KL Rahul is doing much better, much better. Proper operation under medical care should get okay. Siddharth Nanda, are they working on determining how many people infected inside a biosecure bubble? You know, there is a contact tracing app, so they will do everything possible to contact trace, and they're testing. You know, are they working on determining? This determining is a very interesting word. How do you determine? You have not seen any breach of the bubble. That is why I am saying, did he contract it in the lab? Possible. Did he contract it in the stadium? Because obviously he must have contracted it somewhere. It's not a ghost that you sort of, you did not contract it. He contracted it. That's why it's in his body. So, but your way option is that you test everybody else. Your way forward is protect everyone else, and obviously treat Bala and Varun and Sandeep. From what I know, they are doing well. They are on the path of recovery. Varun was better yesterday. Sandeep was better yesterday. Venki will tell you more in my interview. But my way forward is protect everyone else, and that is why you put everyone else into hard quarantine. That's what CSK and KKR are doing. Delhi is in isolation, and that's what should be done. Let me also put it on record from what I know. Mumbai was tested yesterday. Mumbai is being tested day before, and Mumbai is being so the test results. If they're being tested every day, the test results are supposed to come around noonish. Is what I know. The most recent test results. So we will update you on Sports Today about that as well. Why can't prepone the next leg of Bangalore and Kolkata? Ah, again, you are actually talking. Who's this Himanshu? Himanshu, you are actually talking travel. I'm very apprehensive of travel. If you actually think, where did Varun pick it up? And if you see, when Nitish picked it up, Aksar picked it up, Anrik picked it up, it was all travel. According to me, this travel is a dangerous thing, even if you are going through a green corridor in an airport. What is a green corridor? If you even use a private terminal, even if you have people who are in PPE kits frisking you and checking your baggage and all of it, even if you do all that, travel is the most risky thing under the circumstances. So Anrik clearly picked it up in travel. Aksar picked it up in travel. Nitish picked it up in travel. Each one of them, if I know right, picked it up in travel. So did Varun actually pick it up in travel, and the symptoms manifested later? Possible. But again, how do you determine that? There is no conclusive proof. Trisha is saying Venki Mysore live can even try that. After the show, I'll have a chat with you, Trisha, and put out a tweet if we are going live. Uh, Siddharth, Trisha, can we do live on Zoom? Can people watch? Is that possible? Uh, are they working on determining? Okay, I've answered that. Why Mumbai is not? I've answered that. Today's match, I've answered that. I questions can't keep pace. Too many questions. Boryada, what about KL Rahul? I've answered that. I've actually answered a lot of your questions already. Are they working? Siddharth Nanda, Mankirat Singh, I've answered that. Why was RCB? Why was RCB forced to play? What was this question? I get the question is so many, just flips through. Official updates from BCCI, we get source-based information. BCCI put out a press release, Akshay. They put out a press release yesterday. To be fair to them, within a couple of hours of the KKR issue, they did put out a press release. Kashi Vishwanath is not a source-based info. He's the CEO of the Chennai Super Kings, not source-based. Venki Mysore, CEO of Kolkata Knight Riders, not source-based. These are not source-based information. So you can Rohan Jetli is not source-based. He's the president of the DDCA. None of this is source-based. Absolutely not. Uh, Kuldeep, David Warner News. David Warner News, it's trending. Why not David Warner? And that's a big question everybody is asking. Are all the teams in Ahmedabad in quarantine? What I know, I've told you, Delhi in quarantine, as in isolating. KKR, of course, in quarantine in Delhi. Chennai Super Kings in quarantine. So that's what I know. Boria, do you think it will be feasible to maintain so many bio bubbles at one place? So many cases in Mumbai. See, bio bubbles, provided you put the protocols in place. Mumbai, the cases have actually dipped since the last time. And if you have hotels which are bio-sanctified, that's why I said, if you say I will put it from the 7, no, you can't. If you have to do it, you have to put hotel staff in quarantine, everybody else who's associated with the bubble in quarantine for a period of time before you go into that bubble. So unless you create that bubble properly, there will be questions. So I'm sure that's what the BCCI will do. So this speculation about, okay, we move to Mumbai, we start on the 7th, is a tough one, is a very tough one. When will CSK play next? Who's this? MSDN Saman. When will CSK play next? Anytime after the 7th. anytime after the 7th, basically, or the 6th, rather 7th, when their 6-day quarantine ends. Anytime people talking about one more case in one other franchise. The cases so far: two cases in the Kolkata Knight Riders, Balaji in Chennai Super Kings, that is diagnosed case, and of course the bus helper. If you think, about other franchises, etc., as of now I haven't heard anything more. Let us not speculate. Transparency, I think there is transparency at this point from what we know. That is why we are able to give you this news. And as I said, BCCI put out a press release. If there is further developments, I'm pretty sure they will. Chennai Super Kings have confirmed it on record. Kolkata Knight Riders have confirmed it on record. Venki Mysore gave an interview yesterday. He will give one to me today. So these are not source based, and Rohan Jaitley confirmed on record. These are not source based information. Okay, so BCCI should have done it in Mumbai or IPL, whatever. So look, again, where the European players testing positive before the match, but matches are going correct. Deepak Singh, there have been many instances in the EPL, and I'm putting this on record. There have been many instances in the English Premier League of games going on, in the La Liga of games going on, in multiple other leagues in the world of games going on. So to say that blanket ban IPL, close it down, that is not based on scientific protocol. But according to me, the scientific protocol is very clear. If there is direct contact, as in this case, Lakshmipati Balaji with the Chennai boys, because he was in that dugout. Now, Mumbai Indians, did they have a 15-minute contact? Did Lakshmipati Balaji interact with any Mumbai player for a certain period of time? All these questions are relevant questions, but as far as CSK is concerned, there was direct contact. They each should be treated as contact, and they should go into hard quarantine for 6 days, is what they have done. And in the hard quarantine period, there will be 4 tests. So that's what it is at this point in time. If I get to know more, if I get to know more about the Mumbai Indians, if I get to know more about any other team, I will come back and give you the info. Whatever I get from the board, I will give you the info. Whatever I get from Venki, I will try and see if I can do it live. If I am not able to do it live, then we will record and put it out. Just follow my Twitter handle for more updates. Follow my Twitter handle for more updates. It's on thin ice. Let's be very categoric. It's a tough period. The only way we can go on is science. Follow science like the KKR team is doing. BCCI has asked them. Follow science like the CSK team is doing. Put them into quarantine and follow protocol. Clear doubts, and then go ahead. That is what is the truth, and we have to follow protocol. That's the update as of now on Sports Today. Whatever more I get, and I'll also update you on the Mumbai move. If there is, sorry, there was a call. That's why the line got disconnected. Sorry, there was a call from a cricketer. If there was if there is a tangible move to go to Mumbai, and from when, based on what protocols, I will update you on that. On that note, thanks very much for watching Sports Today. Follow our social media platforms, including mine, because I will do plenty more today to keep you updated on every development in the IPL. Thanks for watching.